Hey YouTube, this is The Art of Prepping. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to do a gear review and just talking about a new holster I got. Over the years, I've tried many holsters, and I mean many, as many people do. It's something that you don't just typically find the right one the first time. You typically go with more inexpensive ones, and you tend to build. And typically, though, it's the magic holster is somewhere in between the inexpensive and the ultra expensive. And so you kind of have to find that middle ground. Um, I just wanted to also point out that in a lot of my videos, especially the only gun that I really show on my channel is my carry gun, at least at this particular time, the little Ruger LCP. And I get a lot of flack for that because it's a 380 auto. And so I just know that that's the size and the weight that I'll actually carry. And so if you're honest with yourself and you say, hey, if I carry anything bigger or larger, heavier in particular, then I won't carry it. And so that's where I'm at with that. So that's my personal choice. But thanks for all the concern. The second part is everybody makes fun of the holster that I use. Or at least say, hey, this is the one right here. That Blackhawk size 303, number 3, is pretty pathetic. Yeah, it's actually pretty simple. Got this at Walmart probably 3 or 4 years ago, and honestly, it's not like horrible, but there's no retention. But for pocket carry, it has just enough padding, and it keeps the pistol oriented so it doesn't start to move around. So having good orientation for quicker draw is going to be helpful. But overall, it's true. It's really not so great. I think that Desante now has a lot better options. But for the money at the time, this was really readily available because it was at a local Walmart that when I was traveling, and I found that I picked it up. Yeah, this here, the one I had originally, this is kind of like this real thick deal that I got off of Cheaper Than Dirt, and it's a little bit too thick and too rigid. It actually just isn't deep enough really to really get the whole trigger guard in there, and I don't know, it has this kind of sticky rubberized grip panels or strips here, and so I tried it out. It was like maybe $6 or something, and years ago I got this is many years old, and it just didn't work out. Maybe for like a really small pistol, it could be okay, but something the size of a Ruger LCP, it was a no-go. I think it was Bulldog, I believe, made this one. So here's 2 pocket holsters. And then we also have this here. This is made by Pro Tech Outdoors. And very cheesy, simple. It actually worked. I've had this maybe like 5-6 years, and something like that. At least 5 or 6 years, maybe even 7. But I got this off of eBay, I believe, and it was literally just a few dollars. And believe it or not, it actually is holding up. I've had to melt over and over, as you can possibly see here. I've had to melt the unravelings or just some threads that started to show. Started to get a little bit threadbare there on the edge, and then I melted it, and it's now doing okay. But this is just like about just a hair too small for a Ruger LCP, and so you can kind of force it and work. It'll work, but it's just a little bit too tight. And so this is like, you can do this in different, use this for different reasons inside the waistband, obviously for the most part, for appendix carry or for inside the waistband, like at the 3 or 4 o'clock. And I've tried this a lot, but because there's really no real retention besides the tension of your belt compressing against the gun, against your body, I just don't. I think there's better options. And then I had this one custom made from a soldier, actually, that made this in Texas. I don't really know him personally, but it's kind of been not well maintained, I will admit. But it's just basically a piece of pretty thick leather for in the pocket carry, and I almost find this is just a little too wide, but it works okay. It's just not really into it. It's just a little bulky. And then I think I got this either on eBay or Amazon. I can't remember, but it's one of these deals that you put the pistol in this. It's like a gun wallet, and you put it in there and you simply close the lid and it velcros, and then you can put this in a cargo pocket. Obviously it has very poor speed, I mean your access, and so what you find here is that on these wallet holsters, it's not only this the access, but I don't know, it's just awkward getting into it. And actually I had a little bit of rust problem in there, so it holds moisture and doesn't allow the gun to breathe or to evaporate stuff. And of course, you know, the Ruger LCP came with its own little gun rug or case, and it's real cheesy. I was kind of disappointed in this. Of course, you wouldn't really want to carry this unless you want to just transport it, but it's pretty cheesy. And I'm already having some thread issues, but very light duty little gun rug there. And then I kind of went through this phase of thinking that these, I got several of these on eBay a long time ago. You can tell I don't hardly even wear these. These inside the waistband clips, you could also, you know, put a belt through here and tuck it under the belt or over, have it on the outside of the belt, either way you want. And I got different sizes, just trying to test which one would be the best for this gun. And so like the medium size or the small does okay. But once again though, these are kind of like this thick vinyl material. It's just too bulky for a gun that's so thin. And so it adds just too much girth and it's just too rigid. So that's a no-go. Another one over here. This one obviously I've just used just for a belt carry. So I took off the clip, and then I have another black one for various attire. And once again, hardly ever use any of this. And so I have many more though. Many more holsters, like shoulder holsters inside the the back holster, cross draw holsters. Just a medley of stuff. I'm probably missing like 3 or 4 other ones. But here's another little like leather one that I had custom made out of Texas, and never almost ever use it, but like a handful of time. Ankle carry rigs. They're kind of okay, but for me personally though, I just don't find myself wanting to carry it for more than a few hours. And if I go out and about, you obviously have to have pants on, not shorts, and I don't know, it just has some problems. And of course, I've tried the belly band systems multiple times. I think I still have 1 or 2, and I just don't really care for it. I really don't, because you have to have just enough tension to keep it from sliding around, and it just doesn't really feel that great and comfortable to have that. The only thing I haven't really tried is those shoulder holster, or even those concealed, well, it's the shoulder holster shirts, or the concealed holster shirt systems. Sometimes they have them in different places than under the shoulder or under the armpit. But regardless though, even the regular shoulder holsters, just to me, are just flopping around. They're just, I don't know, they just feel weird up against your body and hit your arm, and even the real small ones. So I just haven't tried the shirt ones, but every time I try, I get the courage to place the order. I'm just like, I don't know. It just seems like it would be, because they're spandex mostly, or some kind of elastic, and so it's going to keep the gun up on you, and I don't know if I want that tightness of the shirt on me, so I just said the hell with that. Now, with all this being said, what's the new holster, you say? Okay, so voila. And this is great. This is the answer. I will tell you, I think this really is the answer. And since this is my carry gun, this gun is hot, and there is one in the chamber, obviously. So I'm not going to take it out and do anything crazy. But basically, it is I got some information here for you. I just got this about a week ago. I have been testing it. I've been carrying it every day. Black jacket holster inside the waistband, IWB Kydex holster. This is a custom to order. It uses a 0.06 of an inch Kydex. It's around 2 ounces, and it has a retention Phillips screw right here, as you can tell, and this rubber kind of like a gasket, like I guess just keeps the screw from backing out, and that's how it looks on the other side. So it has a retention Phillips screw. It's made in the USA. This particular model I got was a 1.75 inch clip, and which is great for my 1.75 inch 511 tactical belts. I kind of debated if I wanted to get the 1.5 inch because you can ask for either one, but I like having the versatility, and it really does hold on to the belt, so I haven't really had any problems with that, with the holster staying in the actual position when you're drawing. And it has so the clip is very beefy, as we can tell here, and you can kind of tell the texturing is like a carbon fiber. Now this is Kydex, but I just wanted to say and preface that it's just like a nice carbon fiber texturing, which I'm not sure how they do that, but it's pretty cool. And you can see it's molded to the gun, I mean, in a very minimalistic way. And since mine's one of the original Rugers, it doesn't have the newer sights, or it doesn't have the enhanced features. It is going to be usable for the newer ones as well, obviously. It doesn't have like what you would call like a real positive click when you put it in there. It was actually kind of not the best retention when I first got it, and then I really cranked down. I really cranked down on this screw to the point that I don't think it would be wise to go anymore. Right now the retention is very good. I could actually shake this about 2 or 3 times without any fear of it coming out, but if I get real vigorous and really throw it down, after about 4 or 5 times with the loaded magazine, it will eventually come out. But that's a lot more abuse than you would ever probably find. You're not going to be, the chances of you being upside down, being shaken vigorously, is pretty much less than 1% in my opinion. So I think for all intents purposes, this is very excellent and the retention is adequate. The only thing I would say is that you would think that, you know, this trigger guard right here on this lip here would be just a little bit deeper for that little bit more of a click, to get that click and a little more, you know, positive retention. But actually overall though, I think since I've tightened it down so much, if it was any more intense in terms of, I could see maybe that being an issue. So you don't want something that's so hard to get out. I use, for the most part, these little extended grips here on the Ruger, just so I can kind of hook my 2 fingers, since this is a 2-finger grip. And I just do that. Now, if I need like a really extreme deep carry, I can go with my flush mags. But this is just kind of how I carry it around the, the house and around, you know, just getting groceries and stuff. But as you can see how thin it is, unbelievable. I mean, this is just, like I say, about 2 ounces extra. So this is the system for me, and hopefully everybody is now calmed down and like, oh, you got a proper holster. I think this is a great holster. I highly recommend it. Once again, Black Jacket Holster, IWB Kydex. This is made by a company. Let me get the information here. Once again, this is the carbon fiber black. They have just a matte black as well, if you don't like that look. Let me just see. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. It says it's from the seller My Kydex Holster on the Amazon Marketplace. My Kydex Holster. Once again, the product detail is Black Jacket Holster IWB, and they may have other different models for different guns. But this is the amazing part. Not only is it custom to order, but it's only $27.99. And I did get a little bit more of a break just because I used a certain credit card that has a certain promotion going on, and so I was able to get almost another $3 off on top of that, just because of the type of, you know, means of purchase. But wow, so around $25 for this. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how you could beat that. It's just, you know, it's amazing. Now, if you made these yourself, I'm sure you could probably make this for maybe, you know, like $10 or less. I don't really know how much the materials cost, but it is very professional, and everything's rounded off and smooth, the edges, and it just feels like, I mean, there is no rattle. Especially when you tighten down just a little bit when you get it, there is just no rattle, and it's so compact and so usable. I mean, we already know how small the Ruger LCP is. I mean, just look at my hand in comparison. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, it's, let me see here. I think I have some spent casings here. I had a friend over, and let's see what, yeah, here it is. This is one of his 9mm rounds, and he was using some steel case. And just in comparison to a 9mm spent casing, I mean, you can see it's just very small, just very small. And so I just wanted to talk to you about this and show you this option. As always, thanks for all the support. And if you need a little holster, feel free to check this one out. And I'll catch you real soon.